Chapter 1. The Battle for Perseverance. Why all this weeping? You're breaking my heart. I'm ready not only to be jailed at Jerusalem, but even to die for the sake of the Lord Jesus. The Apostle Paul, Acts 21:13 NLT. Charles Frederick Peace was a burglar and murderer in England in the 1800s. He was finally caught in Blackheath and taken into custody. He was tried at Leeds Assizes, found guilty, and sentenced to be hanged at Armley Prison. English evangelist Leonard Ravenhill describes that day. On the morning of his execution, Peace was escorted on the death walk by the prison chaplain, who was reading aloud from the Consolations of Religion about the fires of hell. Peace burst out, "Sir, if I believed what you and the Church of God say that you believe, even if England were covered with broken glass from coast to coast, I would walk over it, if need be, on hands and knees, and think it worthwhile living just to save one soul from an eternal hell like that." Both Jesus and the Apostle Paul expressed similar determination. From that time, Jesus began to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things from the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and on the third day be raised. Matthew 16:21. Agabus the prophet warned Paul that if he went to Jerusalem, he would be bound by the Jewish leaders and turned over to the Gentiles. Acts 21:11 NLT. Paul's friends begged him to cancel the trip, but Paul replied, "Why all this weeping? You're breaking my heart. I am ready not only to be jailed at Jerusalem, but even to die for the sake of the Lord Jesus." Acts 21:13 NLT. Jesus, Paul, and even Charles Frederick Peace can teach us something about determination and perseverance. Perhaps the real reason Jesus and Paul persevered through difficulty is they saw something about God's purposes which lifted them above an ordinary temporal existence, where the vision became more important than anything else, including personal safety. Perhaps we too, when we see something bigger than ourselves, when God touches our lives with His glory, will do something radical for Him at great personal risk. But without such a vision for God's purposes in and through us, without a transcendent experience with God that transforms our paradigm, determination and perseverance are simply much less likely. It could be asked, do I need a transcendent experience to have perseverance? Is not the human will enough? Do not human beings have within themselves the drive to live, survive, achieve, to be great, and stand for honor and courage? Do we really need outside impetus? These are legitimate questions. The Apostle Paul recognized the human propensity for courage and even ultimate sacrifice. Very rarely will anyone die for a righteous person, though for a good person, someone might possibly dare to die. Romans 5:7 NIV. Humanity's ability to strive for something beyond themselves is a God-given quality, tainted now by sin, but still latent within us, whether we acknowledge God or not. However, to strive for something selflessly, solely for the benefit of others, even for people who might be unworthy of our sacrifice, is something else entirely. Without a transcendent experience where God transforms the human heart, salvation by God's grace, such altruism is a rare thing. We are all too naturally self-absorbed. Selflessness is a characteristic unique to God, but God demonstrates His own love for us in this.